Hello, today in this video we'll discuss about how I won a university scholarship and I moved to Sweden. So I'll be discussing about the steps I take in getting a university scholarship and how I moved to Sweden. So basically we'll focus on the steps taken for me to win a university scholarship, and most importantly, there's the most important factor will be my last point in this video: how I won a university scholarship and I moved to Sweden. It started in the year 2021 and I had plans to move to Sweden. But before then, I've tried several options. Several countries, and before I make up my mind to say, oh, I'll move to Sweden. So it all begins with the research phase. As I said earlier, it begins with the research phase. I research into, after making up my mind that, oh, I would go to Sweden to study, I research into different scholarships that are available for me. There is the Swedish Institute scholarship also, and there are university scholarships. As you all know that scholarships, when you're applying for scholarships, you have to keep your options open. You have to keep, it's as if when you are looking for admission, most times you don't tend to look into one school, you look into different schools. Likewise, when applying for scholarship, you research into different options that are available for you that you can also get into. So as I found the Swedish Institute scholarship, I also found university scholarship, because they are hidden scholarship and they are open scholarship. The university scholarship, most times we can call it hidden scholarship. When you don't research, that is why you have to research. So I've begun my research since January 2020, and I've begun to research about what are the available options that are open for me. So that shows I already have my dream. That the first time is I dream it, and I've written down my vision board that so year 2021 I want to move. Then after researching to the qualifications, requirements and the likes, so I researched into it and I discovered that I need to get my admission in the first choice, in the university of my first choice. So I think that is where the research that I'm talking about comes in. I need to get my research. You need to do your research properly. So from my research, I found out that by all possible means, for me to get this scholarship, this university scholarship, I need to be the university. I need to choose the university as my first choice, and as well, that first choice must give me the admission. So I research into the requirements, qualifications and the like. So, and the way the institution structure the scholarship is, after you've gotten the admission, those that choose that school as first choice, those are the ones that are eligible to apply for that scholarship. So that is where the secrets lie. So if you choose that school as second choice and they give you admission, that shows you are not eligible to get the scholarship. So then I research into it. Then I start my submitting my application to gather my document and everything early. And the next thing is crafting the application. So I have to draft my motivation letter. So in my motivation letter, I have to pour my heart to this into writing my motivation letter, writing my personal letter, making it personal to me. I have to describe my goals, how my goals align with the course that I want to study, what I've done in the past. I have to highlight my leadership experience in my CV. Then I reach out to references, my recommendation, what we call recommendation letters. I reach out to my references. So you have to, one thing that help in getting scholarship too, about in my previous video I've talked about how to write personal letter, which you can get in and watch. So I have to get recommendations letter, so people that know me, not just a generic. Most times when our recommendation letter, our recommenders, when they write, you have to get someone that can write in detail about you, that know your strength, that know your skills, that know your expertise, that know what you've done before and how it aligns with your goals too. Those things your recommender need to be able to vouch for you. They need to say something about it. Then, so after submission, then the waiting game started. When I mean the waiting game means you have to wait for you to be selected. And one thing that I still did during applying is I reach out to program coordinator. I ensure them to know, I make them to know me. When they know me, they know what that I want this thing. So this was one of the factors too that help. I describe who I am, what I want to do, my research experience, stuff like that. So you have to go a step ahead, step further, to write and let the committee knows you even before you submit your application. Let them know you want this admission, you want this scholarship. Let them ask for other possible options too that are open. So then after waiting, and you see that period of waiting, the most important factor that I've not said earlier is that how I got the scholarship is prayer. I don't know who might be listening to this video. I don't know what you believe in, what drives you, but for me, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And after you've written everything, when when you're applying for scholarship, it's like the best of the best of the best everywhere is applying for these things. The best of the best everywhere, they are applying. So for you to be the best among the best, it's beyond. When you craft a good application, craft good CV, craft good recommendation letter, it is still one single factor that make you stand out, and that's favor. That's the God factor, in which most people don't talk about. That God factor, prayed, fasted, sow my seed, and pray for candle of visibility. When you pray for candle of visibility that is upon your work, candle of visibility is upon your work, upon your application, that is what will single you out among the crowd. Imagine like, let's say 100 people. I'm even using 100 as an example. I know it will be more than 100 people that apply for the scholarship, and we are just 3 people that got that scholarship. Then maybe 3 or 2, I cannot remember. Imagine, or even more than 100. I'm just using 100 as like a minimum. You look at the number of people that apply to schools every year. So one factor and the most important factor in this video that will single you out, for that thing, is that God factor that most times we tend to trivialize. And that is the most important factor. When you have the favor of God, when there is an escalated favor of God upon your life, then you get it. So as you are preparing for that scholarship, you are crafting your application, you are preparing your work, you've started to research early, you've started to gather your documents, you've written motivation letter, you've written good research proposal, you've done this. After all that, I know you've been hearing all that, but there's one thing that you still need to take note, is that God factor that single people out. So, and when the supernatural becomes your natural, that is what single out, and that is how I won my scholarship. And after getting the scholarship, then my dream of traveling to study becomes reality. Having to pay the school fees then was the school fees, the tuition fee then is about 52,000 SEK or 60,000 SEK. I cannot remember per semester. And semester is like 3 months. If you multiply that by 4, that's a lot of money. So that is how then I'm able to pack my bag when that is settled. So in this video, in short, what I'm telling you is I just share my brief story of how I won a university scholarship and moved to Sweden. Whatever you are applying for, whatever, just pray for the favor of God. So I'm Yomi. Thank you. Like my video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share tips on studying abroad, graduate study abroad most especially, and how different ways you can relocate abroad. So thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.